Hi everybody, Lisa McCarthy here from youraddict.com. I'm doing things a little bit differently today. Usually I go live at 12 o'clock Pacific time on Facebook, but it's been kind of a crazy week, so I'm pre-recording this and I'm going to still have it available at noon, but we're not going to be able to do the live comments and everything today. But if you want to leave a comment below, I will definitely get back to any questions that you have, and I'll also drop some links in there. So just to give you a little bit of updates on behind the scenes stuff, it's a little crazy over at our place. Zoe, my youngest, turns 2 today. So the girls were up at 5 o'clock this morning. Not that Zoe knew it was her birthday, but maybe it was just the feeling in the air. And everybody was up jumping on their new little trampoline at 6 this morning. So getting everybody out the door to daycare and stuff was kind of crazy. Doing cupcakes last night was kind of crazy. And then we have the family over for dinner tonight. And we have a birthday party with all of our friends tomorrow. So a lot going on. I've also made some updates to the site. If you've been over to Your Attic in the past day or so, you'll notice there are some changes over there, some exciting stuff coming for you guys. You might notice a little shopping cart that's coming. So not everything's ready yet, but I'll be sure to let you know as more information's available. Really excited to share some cool things with you guys. Today, I wanted to kind of go back to our roots a little bit. We have a bunch more people that have been joining us over the past couple of weeks, and I kind of wanted to start at square one and talk a little bit about the 5 steps to starting your own clothing line and really going from generating your idea to cart. There are a bunch of resources in the free resource library that can help you, and I'm going to walk through what some of those are so that people become familiar with what's available, and you can dive into the work. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is those 5 steps. So what we have as our first kind of block of work that we talk about is coming up with your concept. And that's really drilling into what are your own personal values and how do they align with how you can serve people in the best way possible. So in the resource library, sorry, I just want to make sure I'm getting the names right. We have a worksheet up there. I say we, it's just me. I have a worksheet up there about how to generate a compelling product idea that you're crazy about. So it gives you opportunity to really focus on what are your values, your own personal values. What do you want your life to look like? So what do you want your business to be? And then also how to find a niche that aligns with you serving people in the best possible way and still delivering value to your customer. So there's a worksheet that you can grab over in the free resource library. Just sign up. It'll it sends you an email with the password and you can jump in and grab that. And that's really a great way for you to set a foundation. If you know you want to start something, but you don't know what it is, this is a great way for you to sort of tease out what's really most important to you in your life, and how can you generate a product idea and a business that you're going to be super stoked to wake up every day and work on. So that's a great workbook in there. Be sure to check that one out. Once you are a little bit more clear on your concept, and maybe some of you have already kind of passed along on that and you know what you want to do, you just don't know what to do next. What I have as kind of the next bucket of work in taking your idea to cart is the prepare stage. So what do you need to do to actually get the ball rolling? And in the resource library, I have for you 5 prompts to help you narrow in on your ideal customer. And this is a really important one as you're getting started out, because now if you know what your product is, you want to get clear on how to speak to your customer in a way that is really going to resonate with them. So the worksheet walks you through knowing who they are, delivering value to them specifically based on what their problems are, and then ways to speak to her or him in a way that really resonates with what's going on in their life. So it's a great worksheet in there for you to download and work through. Why this is so important up front is because I think that a lot of times when people are starting out their clothing brand, they're thinking about the product that they're going to make, but the real thing that you need to do to make this a business is to have a brand that people are really, really excited about so that you can actually sell to them and they are resonating with what you're delivering. So even before your product is ready to go, you want to be building your relationship with your customer and letting them know what's coming, so that when you are ready to sell your product, they're already a big fan of yours and they're already really excited about what you want to deliver. So you want to start this piece of engagement with your new customer even before you have a product to sell. So it's really important to get really clear on who they are and how you're going to serve them. So once you've gone through that sort of concept and prepares, when you get into the bulk of the work, which is the creating your product. So this is where the majority of my resources fall, is really how to make that clothing line. The number one resource that people have been really excited about that's in the resource library is the list of 30 North American factories that you could reach out today, as well as in that guide is how to get those factories to actually respond to your email. So what you should be including in there so that you come off professional and so that you're getting the answers to the right questions in that first email. Don't just pick one and go to that one person. You're going to want to cast a broad net to make sure that you're finding the right partner based on the type of product that you're doing. But that's just a great resource that's in the resource library that you can download today by just going in and checking it out. There are also other resources within this create phase, which is really the designing, sourcing, developing, testing, and producing your product. So there are common mistakes new designers make checklists. There's a guide for labeling requirements in there. There is how to cost your product with a costing tool in there. There's even a new tool I put in on how to easily calculate your gross margin. There's tons of resources in there. They're all free for you guys to go in and download whatever you need. So be sure to check that out. This is like the bulk of the work. And so the bulk of the resources are really in this part, focusing on how to actually get that product made. So how to develop and do your production. Once you have that product made is going into the launch phase. So what launch looks like for different clothing brands can be really different depending on how you've decided to sell your product. So whether or not you're selling online through Shopify or through BigCommerce or WooCommerce or Etsy, or if you're doing in boutiques or you're doing pop-up shops, there are so many different ways to do it. So depending on how you've decided you want to sell that product, your launch is going to look a little bit different. The main thing that I encourage is that groundwork up front to your launch so that people know that you're coming. And then when you do launch, they have an opportunity to buy and they already know who you are. So you're not really introducing yourself at the same time that you're trying to sell your product. So it's really laying that foundation. And one of the things that I have in the resource library around just laying a foundation is an Instagram monthly planner specifically for a product-based business. So some ideas and some prompts, as well as a calendar for you to grid it all out and write down exactly what your ideas are so that you can plan that up front so that you know as you're going into your launch phase and your product is coming, you can kind of put that on autopilot and have the posts continuously going out to Instagram so that you're giving people consistent information and you're able to actually do the back end stuff of launching, which starts to look like getting your inventory and shipping it out and figuring out that whole piece of it. You don't want to be sitting on Instagram all day or writing your email sequences. You want to have all that stuff done up front. Once your product is launched, there's also another really big piece of the business, which is monitoring what's going on in your business, figuring out what's successful and what successful looks like. So successful isn't necessarily your number one style. It could be the style that's driving you the most amount of revenue. So you really want to take into account what you're selling, how much money you're making, and then how quickly can you get back into those things that are doing really, really well? And what are those things that aren't really moving the needle and your customer's not interested in? Is it something that you can tweak, or is it something that you just want to get rid of and you want to try and create something new? So fashion is one of those things that it used to kind of be every 4 seasons. There was a new collection dropping, and right now it's moving towards more of a monthly. How do you get new stuff in front of your customer? And for a small business, this is actually a pretty cool thing because you can be getting product out there, reading and responding how your customer is responding to that, and then making changes in your business to actually get them the product that they need. So trying not to do those huge inventory investments up front, but doing little bits at a time, reading what people are liking, doing a little bit more and a little bit more. I want to go into that kind of stuff a little bit farther in the future. So if that's something that you guys are interested in around how to read your sales, how to understand what's working and what's not, and how to make decisions in your business, drop me a note if that's something else that you're interested in learning about. And I can do a post in the future about that. So head on over to the resource library and you can grab all of those free resources that I just talked about today. Just sign up there. It'll send you the password through your email, and then you can just log back in and click and download whatever works for you. you. And if there's something within one of those categories that you're saying like, hey, I'm not finding enough information on your website about this, I want to learn a little bit more, drop me a comment below. I'd love to hear about it. And I will definitely make that into a video or a post coming up in the future. I will be sure to link all of the resources today. I'll link over with the names of what those are in kind of a roundup post up on the blog. And if you have any questions, you can drop them there. I also just wanted to give one other little shout out. I changed my handle on Instagram. I was trying to manage 2 accounts and it was a pain in the butt. So now it's just lisa.mccarthy on Instagram, and it's got, I'll give updates on when these posts are coming out and all the cool things that are going on behind the scenes. And I will be sure to give you guys a little bit more information on the updates on the website and what's to come as soon as it's ready. Drop me a note and share with your friends if you found this helpful. Thanks so much. Bye, guys.